Prabhupada, he didn't criticize aeroplanes, ships, cars, anything, or even didn't criticize even milk from American cows, but whatever was available, using it for service of Krishna. Same thing applies here in today's world.
It's as a stopgap measure,
Right.
Jim. It's a stopgap measure.
Yeah. Regarding your comments, Maharaj,
We have to sometimes use a thorn. We get a thorn, we have to use a thorn to pluck it out. That's all. Otherwise, it's like I was saying earlier, instead of using that technology, it starts to use us and starts to control our life. Just like I was saying this morning, okay? New operating system on the iPod. You know what the manual is?
150 pages.
150 pages. I mean, I would have to block everything out of my mind for the next month to learn how to use, at least a month, to learn how to use all the things they allow you to use, how to control this thing. So what ends up happening? It controls you in order to do that. Instead of we using it, it uses us. You get a really nice, beautiful TV, $1,500 widescreen plasma, and with the remote control and everything. And then the TV takes over. You buy the TV, install it, it takes over. Your life's finished. It's in charge. So Prabhupada would say, yeah, fine, you can use their technology, be comfortable, but don't let it take charge. Don't forget about the purpose of life. And that's what's happening. As I mentioned this morning, I'm connected with a farm in Kansas. We have 40 acres, and we put in a windmill, which pumps water by the wind. Very simple. Probably they've been using that such technology in the States, I don't know how many years, 100 years, maybe 200 years. You see them all over the plains. Not that expensive. You had a simple blacksmith shop, you can make something like that. So a little bit of technology like that. You heat, find some metal in the earth, you heat it up in a blacksmith shop, you make something like this, and you use the wind, one element of nature, to pull up, draw up water, another element of nature. That kind of technology makes sense. You're using wind to bring water. But where does it start? To have the intelligence to know where to stop before it takes over. It's totally taken over now. Such that humanity has lost its humanity. Lost the vision of what this life is about. So we can all pull back a little bit, step by step. Another good video to see, a little DVD called Things. You can put it in the Google, it's very eye-opening.
I have a question which is out of topic.
I have a question. Today's Wednesday, and we set up this program how long ago?
3 days, 4 days.
4 days ago. On a Wednesday and on a weekday. How is it possible you had so many people here?
Everybody want to see you.
And in the middle of the week?
So because of you, your holiness, you are great.
Well, I proved there's no holiness here.
He is media mogul for Indian community.
Oh, yeah?
AZ India, right? If you are looking for any Indian association, any Indian
really?
event, it's under him.
So you're our censor, you're our main man for getting this thing off the ground.
It's all you.
It's like I was saying, I had no expectation to talk about this topic here tonight, this year. But somehow or another, coming to your house, Krishna has sent these things. So that means that he has some plan for you.
Satish Das.
So you had one.
About this plan of banning Bhagavad Gita in the Russia.
Yeah.
What is your comment?
Yeah, I just read just an hour ago that one high official at the Indian government has interviewed this Russian ambassador who came forward and said, we have great respect in Russia for Bhagavad Gita. Some fools have put this court case together in this Tomsk state. So then the Indian official was saying, so does that mean that India can expect an apology from the Russian government? And he said, well, that's not possible because the Russian government is not behind the court case. It's just some fools there. But Prabhupada used to say that when they try to attack Krishna, as long as their nose is clean, they try to attack Krishna, simply just means PR. Krishna is making some plans to become prominent. So the whole world now, it's all over. It's on CNN, it's on Huffington Post, it's all over the place. Articles about Bhagavad Gita. What is it, Bhagavad Gita?
Minneapolis, in one of the news channel, famous news channel in the news, my daughter is watching it. They are telling this is one of the best way to learn about religion, and they are showing Bhagavad Gita in news. Mommy, do you know Bhagavad Gita they are showing in English news? She's saying. Never they showed before.
See, nothing big happens. Nothing big happens without some obstacle. You know? Just like if they want to build a big skyscraper. Okay? First of all, the development company comes in and buys up the whole block, tears all the houses down, big explosion, big hole in the ground, put a big deep foundation, then a big skyscraper. So there has to be some, or just like for instance, if you watch the weather patterns, before the big storm comes in from the west, there's always a big, the warmth, before a cold front comes in. The warmest day is at the cusp of that, in the front of that. Or right before the storm ends, it rains the hardest. Always. And then the sun comes out. So nature is like that, because nature is a reflection of Krishna. She's like a chaya, shadow of God. So Krishna is just arranging things like that. That before prominence, Krishna consciousness comes to prominence, there has to be some inimical fighting against that. Prabhupada said, we're not preaching if there's no opposition. There has to be opposition. He says, you're declaring war in Maya. Krishna consciousness means declaring war in Maya. So Prabhupada said, Maya is not going to give up easy. Just like if someone wants to come and give their life, like so many were coming in Prabhupada's day. They might have been they might have come from a rich family, prestigious family, be in a top university, like Bhakti Tirtha Swami. He was in what was that college? Yale. You know? Devarita Swami, also Yale. Family, kids, so many things. And Prabhupada came, and they gave up everything to be with Prabhupada and to join the mission and to push it on. But then what happens? Parents come, get the deprogrammers, $10,000, hire the deprogrammers to kidnap them, chain them up, and try to break their faith. And sometimes they're bringing prostitutes also to break their chastity. Or as soon as somebody wants to give their life like that to the mission, then all their old girlfriends come. Oh, you don't want that? Come with me, I'll make you happy. So before anything important happens, there's always tests. If something big is going to happen, it doesn't come easy. If it's coming too easy, it means that nothing's going to happen.
Prabhu, in fact, I believe we should take that in, take the Russian act in a positive way. Because unless that happened, in fact, that acted as a big trigger in getting the Gita back into limelight with so much coverage.
So that's what we're saying. So those
And it
people,
raised to the discussions of what is the Gita, why it was banned in Russia, and what's the importance of Gita, relevance kind of stuff.
so these people in Tomsk, it must be the Greek, the Russian Orthodox Church. They've given so many obstacles, left and right, throughout the years. But they're becoming fearful. They're becoming fearful that this is becoming a very powerful thing. We have to suppress them.
And Maharaj,
So
Indian
those,
from,
Prabhupada actually one time said, Prabhu, can I have a glass of water, please? Prabhupada one time said that if they actually knew, those who are in charge of things, they actually knew what it is that we're pushing, what we're asking, they would kill me. Because basically, just stopping these 4 pillars of sinful life, meat eating, intoxicants, gambling, and illicit sex, pornography, and what have you. Thank you. I was wondering where you were. Do you have a warm one?
Kushi, can you bring me also?
So that's what we're asking. That's what Prabhupada's asking. The whole society is based upon this. All the economy. Like we were saying yesterday, how the American West, how is it won? What is it based on? Oil and ranching. Cows. Ranching. That's how everything developed. And now you brought up the third, which is bigger than the others, weapons. Artillery. Producing and selling weapons around the world.
60% of export.
Everything is just so sinful. So we're wanting to put a stop to that. So how is it going to happen in a smooth way? There has to be suppression and oppression and persecution. You think Christianity would have got where it is today if they hadn't been persecuted in the beginning days? So that stage hasn't even come yet. Because first of all, they have to take you seriously. They have to take, first of all, they just laugh at you. They don't take you seriously, right? Who cares? And then they have to take you seriously. And then they persecute you. And then they worship you. That's the dynamic. So there has to be big miracle. Thank you. Only Krishna can turn this around. There's no other way. It's totally inconceivable. how the world can be turned and Krishna consciousness can actually take hold.
Maharaj, about the Bhagavad Gita, Indian Prime Minister has spoken to Putin and Medvedev last week at the top level about Bhagavad Gita situation. And he has been supported by Russian top leaders. And this was very difficult for Manmohan Singh, India being a secular country, but still he has taken it at the highest level.
This is a good sign. It's a good sign because every Muslim country, if somebody says something against the Koran, they blow up.
I have sent 20,000 emails with this news and I'll send a copy to Satish Prabhu.
So the problem is how to get the balance, you know? Because if we speak out too much, then you lose your job. You know? But if you don't speak out enough, or at least hold your own, if you compromise, then you lose your soul. And Jesus said, what profited a man if he gained the whole world and lose his eternal soul? You know, so it's striking that balance, how we can get along in this society in a way that we don't become swallowed up and our spiritual life goes down the drain, and then gradually we can make an impact to be able to get a foothold and turn it around. But the first thing is we have to be clear of which way we want to go, what is the vision. At least this was the vision of Prabhupada. You can call him whatever you want, old-fashioned or whatever. This is Prabhupada's vision. It was also Gandhi's vision. And it's in line with what the Bhagavatam teaches. And as I was saying, there are many, many people today who are not even spiritualists who are recognizing this. That this is a much better lifestyle, more sustainable. We have to go back to a more sustainable type of lifestyle. Even if we're going to exist in this world for long. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you for coming in the first place, and thank you for your patience. And again, I apologize for the voice, and I apologize for the haspiness. My voice is haspy, and my presentation is also haspy. I recognize that. I'm not the best speaker, but I hope that you can appreciate what the message that I'm trying to share and how important it is.
The meaning of the thing.
And pardon?
It's the meaning that
Yeah, and you know, and turn it and discuss it, think about it, and how we're going to move forward. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Ki jai.
Shri Radha Madhava Hari
Hari
ki
ki
jai.
jai. GanapatiSwami Maharaj, Hari Hari Bol.